Hey everyone, it's Crystal Marshall from marshallartstudiophotography.com. Today we're going to talk about branding and marketing 101. Now, the reason I kind of hopped into this topic is because I have so many small business owners that are friends of mine that are just awesome bakers, awesome seamstresses, awesome party planners, but they don't know how to present their message. They don't know how to get out there. They don't know the little ways that will just bring their business from here to here. So I'm going to talk about that in the next couple of talks that I'm going to have. I'm going to talk about logos, I'm going to talk about colors, I'm going to talk about fonts, I'm going to talk about websites, social media. So this is for you. If you don't know where to start, if you don't know kind of the beginning steps of getting your business out there, the beginning steps of kind of setting your business apart for success, then this is going to be for you. Okay, so let me hop you over here. So what is a brand? A brand is your company's voice, your company's personality, what your company likes to do, what your company likes to say, the message that it's trying to go out, the clientele that you want to reach, your demographic of people. So all of these are included in your brand. It might be in the way that you say certain language. It might be in the way that you have certain fonts or certain colors or certain themes or certain pictures. So it could be anything about your business that makes your business have a personality. So just like hanging out with a friend, just like, you know, you describe a friend, you describe a person that you know, same with your company. So if you run a small business like me, you have to do everything. You have to do marketing. You have to do websites. You have to do social media. It could be really overwhelming, especially when, I mean, you just want to like cook cupcakes, like bake cupcakes. Like you don't want to have to deal with all of this. So like you don't even know where to get started. You kind of have a Facebook page. You kind of have word of mouth, but it's not really very strong. So I'm going to teach you my ways, okay? So you might be in doing all of these different hats. You might be, let's say baking is your profession, okay? You might have to be doing ordering. You might have to do social media. You might have to do marketing. You might have to do booking, accounting, calling clients, experimenting with new recipes. You might have to have meetings with clients. You might have to have designing of a business card or something. And then finally, branding. And again, branding is the message that you want to say, what kind of clientele you want, the personality of your brand. You don't realize that your brand and your design is a very powerful tool in your message. Okay? So everything revolves around branding. Branding. Of course, branding is the identity that your business is, your personality, your business's personality. It's what people are going to associate your company with. Okay? It's not just a logo. A lot of people are like, oh, let me get my logo done. Yes and no. Okay? It's about more than that. It's about colors, fonts, the language, photos, the overall message that you're trying to say. Okay? So let's play a little game. Guess the company. So we have a few images here. We have a font, alphabet. We have colors, 3 of their main colors. We have a picture from their website, and we have an illustration. It is Starbucks, for those that don't know. Okay? Let's see what else this one is. We have, these are images that I see on their website. I just got straight off on their website. These are the colors that they use. And these are fonts that they use in their website. Okay, obviously we know they have clothes that they sell. It is Gap, the Gap. Okay. Here's the last one. We have an image from their website. We have another illustration on their website. And we have fonts, and we have a palette, color palette. Now this world image probably gave it away, that it's kind of like maybe a mark. Alright, for those that don't know, this is T-Mobile. So, you know, their color palette, their fonts, image on the website. All right. So, it's when you recognize a brand, it's not necessarily, you know, their logo. You're looking at everything around them. Okay? So, how do people recognize your business? It's all about branding and repeating it over and over and over again. So, who is my ideal client? Like knowing a person, you can't talk about your brand unless you know them inside and out. Okay, so this is what's difficult. Who do you want to reach in your brand? Now, before I even started this presentation, I actually had to think about this for myself. And I actually had to rebrand my own photography business, my website. I had to redo my business cards. I had to redo the Facebook page. Thinking about this, like what kind of person I want to be, what kind of presentation do I want to show, what kind of ideal client do I want to present myself for. You can't market what you don't know inside and out. Okay, so describe your business brand in 5 words. Oh, oops. So describe your business brand in 5 words. Now, before you do this, you might want to like pause the video and like get out a scrap of paper and write down what 5 things describe your business. Okay, so before I did this presentation, I think that I had like a few things that I wanted to write down, maybe like playful or natural, beautiful, personal. But I really had to step back and think through like, is my website promoting that? Is my social media promoting that? Is everything that I'm talking about in my business, around my business, to others, presenting it to others, promoting those things? Okay, so this was kind of a big journey for me. Do this process before starting a business, or this will happen to you. And this is a true story from me. Okay, so in 2011, when I said, oh, I want to be a photographer and I want to have a business and I want to do whatever, I didn't actually go and think about these things of branding, what my message wants to be, what my colors want to be. I was like, oh, let me just start a Facebook page, right? Because everybody, when they start a business, the first thing they do is start a Facebook page because, duh, like, that's it. That's like when you are legit, right? And so, let me show you some funny photos. Okay. Alright, so this is my journey. Okay, so we start off with this. I think it was like me messing around with like Photoshop and like the pen tool or something like that. And this was like it for a while. And then I was like, oh, I really need like an actual logo. And so that's where I came up with, because like my husband is Japanese, we were both born in Japan. So I was like, oh, well, I've got the rising sun and some kind of Japanese tree. But it was just too like black and red. It was just like too harsh. I felt like it was too much. And so I was like, oh, let me soften it up. So I kind of still took the circle with the A and I kind of made it more of like an artsy, like painted look. And as you can see, my logo hasn't changed since then, but I've kind of stepped back. So I had like maybe a rainbow color scheme one year. It was fun, but like again, I was attracting like newborns and infants and people with children. Like it looks like a party planning website. And I'm like, I wasn't attracting like senior guys. I wasn't attracting like maybe like brides and grooms, which is what I really wanted to attract. And so I kind of came up with this, and that was fine, but I felt like it was like too gray, like too, I don't know. The teal and the gray, it just didn't really speak to me nearly as much as just, and I feel like it kind of overwhelmed the photos, like having all of these patterns and everything. And so that's kind of why I stuck with the black and white, and then the photos will like make the images, make it, you know, pop. Okay. So before you start a business and before you start, you know, doing the logos and maybe hiring a designer to do that, think through like what kind of message that you want to do. So these were kind of like my color schemes for a while. When I had that like rainbow thing, I had like this green, this yellow. These are kind of like my fonts that I was going with, so more of like a childish, playful look. These are my color schemes now, so it's just a little bit more. I feel like it's like a little bit more unisex. It's a little bit more like, it could be teen boy, could be teen girl, it could be a little bit more masculine because I'm trying to attract like, you know, like a groom. So anyway, so I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So your business is your journey. Start with a vision. Okay. So how do we start with a vision? Very, very important. Who is your ideal client? Can you describe them? What do they like to do? What age are they? What demographic are they? So first thing you have to do is go to Pinterest and kind of find what your ideal client would like. Okay, so first, before you go to Pinterest, let me go back to that slide because I think this is very important. So journaling down, what does your ideal client do? What age are they? And what demographic are they? Okay, so thinking about what they like to do, what age are they, and what demographic are they? So take some time, pause the video, and write down who your ideal client is. And when I started my business, I did not do this. I was like, whatever people want to get me for, and I just want to do whatever, and I just want to take pictures. And if you kind of start a business like that, it's, then you'll be everywhere. And in many different directions. So you need to focus on like what type of person you want to attract. So that was a big eye-opener for me personally. So then when you have that written down, go to Pinterest and find out things that your ideal client would like. Okay, so this would be an example of maybe the type of client that you would like to attract. So you like, let's say you like clients that like vintage shoes, pastel colors, city life, bakery items, throwback typewriters, old bugs, 50s, diners, handwritten stuff, and old rotary telephones. So this is cool. This is a good vision board because it shows what type of person that you want to attract. Maybe like teens, maybe college students. Alright, so let's look at another one. So what words come to your mind now that you've looked at them? So maybe feminine, retro, vintage, pastel, comfortable. So these are kind of the things that came up in my brain when I was looking at the photos. Casual and childish. These are just things off the top of my head, like words that I came up with. Let's look at, is your business attracting that kind of client in your design and your message? Okay, so very important. So if you are, let's go back to the example of you're a baker. Let's go back to the example of like let's say you're a cupcake specialist and you want to attract people that are getting birthday cakes for birthday parties, maybe college students, maybe women, ages 18 to 35, then I pretty much think you've nailed it. But if you want to attract women ages maybe 35 to 60, having those colors in your store, having maybe kind of the retro feel, may or may not be maybe the message that you would like to present. If it is, great. If not, it's good to kind of step back. And that's kind of what I had to do with my my brand as well. You can create now you have your vision, you can create your brand. So now you have a vision, the kind of client that you want. So let's say it's women maybe it's like black women ages, 35 to 60 that are going to enjoy makeup for multicultural skin tones or something. So, make sure that your message is the same as the demographic and the ideal client that you want to, present to. So that makes sense, right? Okay, so who is our ideal client? Our turn, for me. So these were the color scheme and the fonts and stuff that I had. Even though I don't honestly think that I thought about it beforehand, I just kind of looked through my previous websites and kind of like my previous handouts and to see like, oh, I think these were the colors, and I think these were kind of the fonts, but I wasn't consistent across the board. I wasn't consistent with every single thing, and that was kind of something that I needed to work on. So that's kind of why I had to change. So then I had a goal of doing 10 to 15 weddings a year. So I needed brides ages 25 to 35. My goal was, even though like I didn't really meet these goals because I had, children, but having a goal of 15 to 20 family sessions a year. So I needed moms that were like ages maybe 30 to 40, depending on what kind of family session I wanted. I wanted to have 15 to 20 senior sessions a year, so I needed teens ages 16 to 18 or their moms that were in their 40s, 30s, late 30s, early 40s. So these are kind of like the color schemes that I had before. Okay, these were kind of the color schemes I had before, even though this wasn't my actual vision board, but it kind of just like went through some of the colors that I had previously. And again, I really wish that this was my vision board at the time, because again, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think through what I needed. So we have kind of the playful mixed colors. We have the teal, we have the orange, we have the yellow. So I guess, was it attracting those people? So what words come to your mind? It was feminine, young mom, tropical, fun, comfortable, casual, childish. So was I attracting that type of client with my vision? I was not. I was attracting more young family and teens, which is fine if that's who the ideal client that I wanted to do. But I wanted to do more older. I wanted to do more people that were weddings, more people that were, for the older clientele, or more like masculine, because I wanted to do more senior guys. I wanted to do, have a bride and groom, and I don't think my color scheme was very masculine, if a man wanted to hire me, or if, a guy was booking me, or that kind of thing. So that's kind of why I changed direction. So why am I not attracting the people that I want to attract? Who did you think my ideal client was? So this is my journey now. These are kind of the color schemes I have now. I do kind of have that red still from before, but I have a teal, and I have a gray, and I have the black. Again, I wanted to do more modern colors. I wanted to do more kind of minimal colors. I didn't want my colors to be like in your face. I wanted my images to speak for themselves. I wanted more of like a black and white kind of a feel, more classy, but then still have that fun vibe by doing kind of the handwritten font. So kind of, a little bit of something before, but then I have a little bit of that minimalism, kind of look. So I really like what I did now. So who is our ideal client now? So I've actually thought about it and like written it down. Okay. So women that appreciate authenticity, value, and honesty, moms with young children, future brides that appreciate DIY charm. They like the beach, being outside, crafts, faith, values, being casual. So those were kind of, now that I've thought about who my ideal client is, therefore I can think about every time I post something, every time I do something, I have that person in mind. Okay. So the business goals now, doing 10 to 15 weddings a year. So I need brides 25 to 35 Hampton Roads. Doing 15 to 20 family sessions a year. So I need moms ages 30 to 40 with young children. Doing 50 to 20 senior sessions a year. Like I said, these are all goals, and I wish that I could say that I would be able to do this. But, you know, with me having 3 kids, but eventually I would love to have these as my actual business goals. So I need moms, you know, ages 40 to 50 with teens. So I'm kind of narrowing my focus a little bit. So this would be kind of my my board now that I actually like had to look through, and getting the 2 colors together was actually really difficult because there's not really many things on Pinterest I found out that have black and white with teal and pink. I feel like I just kind of like made up that color scheme. So I love how, again, it's comfortable, it's casual, it's fun, but it also has that classy vibe. It has that very minimal, classy vibe. So, and then you could use it with black and gray and blue, which is obviously more of a masculine color scheme. Because the problem I was having was when I had my watermark on like a senior guy session, and I had like pink and green, pink and red, and all these like hearts and triangles or whatever I was doing. It just wasn't masculine. I feel like it took away from him. So now that I'm like more black and white, I can, you know, just have that as my watermark, and that way I don't have to deal with all these funky colors. So that's nice. But then like just little accents of color, you know, like little accents of pink, little accents of blue. It's not like overwhelming too much. So I really like that. So what words of our business come to mind? Modern, urban, vintage, comfortable, casual, maybe unisex is kind of like what I was thinking. So am I attracting that kind of person with my vision? I'm getting there. I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like now that I have my social media kind of intertwined with this vision, and I have my website, and now I have my new business cards, and you know, all of my social media and all my business cards are on my website. They all kind of say the same message with the same fonts. All the fonts on my blogs are now getting there. All the things on all my videos are now getting there. So it used to be like random text, you know, random things that I would find online, random colors that went with random things. And now I'm really, really focused. Like I only use 2 fonts. I only use 2 or 3 colors. Like I make sure I'm very streamlined about what I do, because I want people to recognize me and see like, oh, they don't even have to see who I am. They just know, oh, that's martial arts. That's martial arts. So I'm really trying to get there. I'm getting there. Because I do post more about my family and my children who are, you know, under age 6, I do attract a lot more children at this point. But I know as my children get older, I'm be posting more about, you know, having teens, being a teen, you know, having teens and being a parent of teens, you know, senior year, having them go off to college. You know, I know I'm going to attract more people as I get more seasoned. So that's an awesome thing about growing with your clients and about growing with the people that you have, is because it's like a family. It's like them joining in your journey, them joining in the message that you want to say. Okay, so does our message and design match our vision? So describe your business now. So now that you think about all those things, about what you want your vision to do, what you want your business to do, you know, take some time to write down 5 things that your business is. That you kind of describe your business now. Now you've thought about it in brand in 5 words. So let me go back to that slide. So now that you know, so take the time. So go back, you know, mentally rewind, go back. So first of all, a brand is your company's personality. A brand is your company's way of sending a message out without even telling who you are. People just recognize, oh, that's your thing. That's your stuff. That's your colors. That's your pictures. That's your font scheme or whatever it is. So people don't even have to see your name on it. They just know it's you. The kind of message you want to put out there, the kind of you know, and that doesn't really take a lot of time, and I'm going to talk about that more in another video. But again, what is a brand? How you can have an ideal client, very, very important. You want to think about these things before you kind of get into everything. And I'm going to tell you right now that when you start a business, it's very, very important to think about these things before you get to that place. Because if not, you're going to have thousands of dollars worth of, business cards you're going to just throw away. Maybe a website that you're just not even going to use because it doesn't really speak your language anymore. So think about these things before you pay for all these, things, or before you do it yourself. So again, this is Crystal Marshall from Marshall Studio Photography. You can follow me on Facebook, and let me get it up here. You can follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on Instagram, and you can go to my website to check out my other links on YouTube, Pinterest. But again, have a wonderful night and keep hustling. All right?